happiness to be in Pakistan and to see people dressed in their native clothing, the kurta and shalwar. I'm wearing the kurta and shalwar. And to see the Prime Minister of Pakistan, the famous cricketer, and anywhere you see him, he is in kurta, shalwar, the native clothing. And you have others who dress the way they want you to dress. eh? The bandagi, you are imitating them. So I'm so happy to be in Pakistan at this time in Ramadan to call our people back to the way of life that Allah has ordained for us, rather than to imitate another people. And to remind you that the most important thing in the month of Ramadan, are you listening to me? The far and away the most important thing of all in blessed Ramadan, after the fast of Ramadan, on which we will speak to you. The most important thing of all is to return to the Quran. And returning to the Quran, the first step, pehla kadam, the first step of returning to the Quran. And if you do not take that step, no other step is possible. The first step in returning to the Quran in blessed Ramadan is to follow the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. What was his Sunnah? No, it was not just his Sunnah. It's the Sunnah of Allah, Allah's Sunnah, that every month of Ramadan, Allah himself, subhanahu wa ta'ala, he recited the whole Quran from cover to cover. It's called khatam, to khatam the Quran. And you don't know this. You will ask me, when did Allah recite the Quran? I have much to tell you about this. But all of this is located in my book, The Quran and the Moon, Quran and Chand. And may Allah bless those who translated the book for me in Urdu. And may Allah bless those, I won't mention their names, who checked the translation. And now it's published in Urdu. So we have it in Urdu and we have it in English. How did Allah recite the Quran? When did Allah recite the Quran? And how must we recite the Quran in blessed Ramadan? It matters not whether you are Brelvi, or you are Deobandi, or you are Ahl Hadith, or you are Shia, or whatever you are. If you are reciting the Quran the wrong way, you must correct yourself when you learn that you're making a mistake. Otherwise, there's arrogance. If you make a mistake and you're not prepared to correct yourself, that's called arrogance. And I have come to Pakistan only to do only this. I've come to Pakistan to teach the Quran, to teach that the way that you must recite the Quran. Before we end today's session, there is a difference between qira'ah and tilawah. When the Imam is reciting the Quran in Salat, and all are listening while he recites, that's tilawah. When you are reciting the Quran for yourself and Allah is listening to you, and the angels are listening to you, that is qira'ah. And it is the Sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam to do the qira'atul Quran, to recite the whole Quran in Ramadan. And many of you know that. But now there are others, they're not even fasting in Ramadan because they are in bandagi, they're worshipping the West and they're forgetting their own roots. And so they're not even fasting in Ramadan. And if you teach them, come back to the Quran, come back to fasting, and they listen to you, alhamdulillah. But if they are arrogant and they don't want to listen, leave them alone and we will move forward. Just leave them alone and we'll move forward without them. Not only did the Prophet والسلام, recite the Quran from cover to cover for the whole of Ramadan, but more than that, much more than that. Let me share this with you and we finish for today. The Quran tells us in Surah Al-Qiyamah, and when you recite the Quran for the first time, remember you must say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, and then after that you don't have to say it. And so ba'da a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Allah's messenger is receiving revelations, but he does not know where this is going. He does not know what is the end. And so Allah speaks to him in Surah Al-Qiyamah, and he says to him, Inna alayna jama'ahu. We are the ones who are going to bring all of these revelations together as a whole. O Muhammad alayhi salatu wa Quran. And when we have done that, the first thing that we will do, Allah is speaking, is to recite it for you, O Muhammad alayhi salatu wa فَإِذَا قَرَأْنَاهُ فَاتَّبِعْ قُرْآنَ. And O Muhammad, Allah is speaking, O Nabi sallallahu ta'ala, when we recite the Quran, you must follow that way of recitation. Allah is speaking and the Prophet is listening. So it was in Ramadan that Allah recited the Quran, of course, through the angel Gabriel, Jibreel alayhi salam. We will in subsequent videos explain how did Allah recite the Quran. But the important thing today, on the eve of Ramadan, is to remind you that it is a sunnah of Allah Himself and a sunnah of the Prophet والسلام, to recite the whole Quran in Ramadan. If you've never done it in your life, you must do it this time. Last year, tears came from my eyes. There were so many who sent emails to me and said, Sheikh, I've done it for the first time in my life. I've recited the whole Quran. I've khatam the Quran in blessed Ramadan. And this Ramadan, I ask you not only to do it yourself, but to reach to others as well and ask them to do it. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.